Okay. Okay. Gotta get some people to put them in timeout. Gotta get some people to put them in. Hey, are you on today? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Oh, am I pressing TikTok? Oh, nope. There it go. What it is? 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 Okay. Okay. I don't want no problems. Want no problems with Mike. Some nice frothy coffee because it's full of marshmallows. Oh, well, go over there somewhere and just sit on a spout. What'd I say? Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. See, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Just a test live. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Yes, so that I can read up on the chat community guidelines and how the chat works. Let's see here. Top chat, live chat. All messages are visible. Okay. Save highlights. Well, how do I do that? Well, I'm not gonna do it. Look. Welcome, 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 you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna do a live. I'm gonna do a test live tomorrow so that I can press some buttons in the live, so that I don't have to do it once I come live because I have been known to do that. Welcome, 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 you guys. It is Sylvie 414, and I is Sylvie, your rough edge lady, coming to bring you some of that balance in the middle. You know, your opinion over here, your opinion over here. Let's see if we can't meet somewhere in the middle and at least get some understanding. We don't always have to agree. We can agree to disagree, but let's at least attempt to get some understanding from the other side. That's the only way things happen. Other than that, we just be around this joke of bumping heads. Bumping heads, and that don't work. That's not how any of that is supposed to work. You can't have a meeting of the minds if you are yet bumping heads. And I will always go back to Willie D and Bushwick Bill. Period. If enemies can work together to make money, shall I say more? Shall I say more? I just believe wholeheartedly, especially because these men we talking about, and look, I be the one to say we challenge them, and you know that. I ain't talking about physical, brute or anything like that, but look, I just got finished telling best friend, we can be a hot mess because we are very, very, very emotional. We gonna talk about it because Sylvie didn't even come to the fourth of the Proverbs today because today is the fourth of the month because me, in my personal opinion, I just wholly and solely believe that the God says stick a pin in that. This is my lesson from the 30th because I did not go. I wasn't faithful to 5 days. I did make sure that I posted my content most every day, even past the 5 days. I'm working on becoming consistent. Once I am consistent, get everything in place as to time and everything. I was just talking to my therapist about that today. I thank y'all because I'm watching like YouTube I got my stats back coming to me weekly. And just like I said, I only got those when I did the Michi X and the Angela Stanton. So I feel like I got it off my own merit this time, just straight my own merit. Like, and I'm like I said, I'm not even saying I don't call no names, but I started getting, because I was pleased. And then the last one I got said the 3 of you guys shared, so thank you. Thank you to the 3 YouTubers. Look, my therapist has said, I am probably the type of YouTuber that you guys don't like. She said, because I just see a good video. She said, I'm just going to watch it. She said, I ain't subscribing to nobody. She said, and if I if I want to watch something else or I need to watch the video again, I'm just going to go back to my history because I know it's there. And then I spoke about Wiley, who said, in a sense, the viewers do us well as well. And right now, I say that all the time. I thank the people that subscribe. I thank the people that view. I thank the people that share. I thank the people that like. Cause just because you view don't mean you gotta like. Even if you like what I'm saying, don't mean you have to put a like on it. So I thank all of y'all. You feel me? But I do know in looking at my stats, my return, my videos are most watched by those who are not subscribed. But what I also said to my therapist is the ones that subscribe, they ain't left me hanging. They don't go unsubscribe. So if they don't want to come back and watch again, I love y'all for staying subscribed. Look, Sylvie got the love to go around. I hope y'all have had a wonderful day today. Happy Monday. I know it's the end of Monday, but happy Monday all the more. I hope this week has started off fabulously for you. And if it seems as though it is trying to get a hold of you already, just get some breathing tactics in place. Get some coping mechanisms in place. And that's what we're doing in this season. That's what we're doing in this season. We is working at being the best us. And I told y'all, if you can't do it by yourself, go get you a... Y'all thought I was playing. I had already had a therapist once, and I almost messed it up for my whole self. So I had to go back and swallow my pride and get myself back, because I wanted to be at the same agency. I didn't want to have to go somewhere else. Welcome, you guys. So yes, like it is crucial, and I've said it before. It's not gonna be for everybody. Shadow work is not gonna be for everybody. My memories today was a shadow work memory day. Long, hard, painful. Why is it painful? Because you have to look at yourself good, bad, indifferent. You have to learn how to handle situations in ways that you probably ain't never known how to handle a situation before. You got to handle things and stuff that you probably ain't even never thought to handle before, because before, life was handling us. But now we gonna live. We not even gonna just handle life. We gonna live it. Baby, we gonna live it. We gonna command them rooms. You remember what Sylvie had said? We is commanding rooms, baby. That part. So, like, look, y'all. This stuff was real good to my whole soul. So, you see, I got the title be Trigger Fugitive on deck. We gonna talk about this, y'all, and I'm gonna ask. I am going to ask. I'm gonna ask when I get to talking about it. I probably ask often if y'all could share this, because I tend to think y'all that heard me on this platform talk about the things that I believe that the God has said in my life. If y'all saw that, please forgive me. If you didn't, don't even worry your pretty little heads about it. But yeah, I am. The God said, leave your job. I did not know the God was going to say, leave your place. Chick, yeah, that's me. So I am No, the God didn't tell me I can go to any church that I want to. The God assigned me to a specific local assembly. The God told me to exit stage left, and then the God said, re-enter for me, baby. I need you to go back to that one, not to whichever one that you choose to. And I am just talking about me. I am just laying out the what is the word I'm looking for? Laying out the blueprint for where I'm going. Because fugitive on deck is fugitive on deck, because this is all allegedly. I gotta say allegedly. I'm going to be telling you, when I speak about what I'm about to speak about, I'm going to be telling you out of one of the horses that are involved's mouth. But then there are other entities involved where I have to make sure that I am saying allegedly. I am going to be directing you guys as to where you can go and check this stuff out. Yeah. So, without any further ado, I'm not going to speak about it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and let you know what it is. So there is a young man from Virginia. His name is Maurico Johnson. I had the pleasure of being driven by his wife to one of my doctor's appointments. And I think it was, I won't say, I think this may have been a trip where I probably was going to stay quiet. Sometimes, like me and my drivers, we just, bam, we hit it off. Sometimes it looked like they don't want to be bothered, so we just silent. And sometimes that conversation kind of just comes out of the, out of the clear blue sky. And it be something that's supposed to be had. That's how I feel about Miss Tanisha Johnson. I felt like I was supposed to get in Miss Tanisha Johnson's vehicle. I felt like she was supposed to tell me her story. And I'm going to go ahead and precursor and tell you, because of the way that it went down, I'm Team Maurico. I'm Team Maurico. And that is, I believe, the God opened up that situation. And I do not believe it's because he's a guilty man. We getting ready to talk about a potentially innocent man that's locked up, you guys. He's been locked up since 2022. So right now, what we about to do is get this scripture in us. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Maurico. I'm not going to finish up Maurico. I'm going to have to do Maurico like I did Mercy's. You remember I had to come back and talk about Mercy's in 2 because it was a lot. So I'm going to come back and do the rest of Maurico, because I was like, look, this is me taking notes. I had already watched what I watched prior to, took notes in the phone, and then went back and watched again to brush up on what I was going to be speaking about, took notes in my notebook, and then went back to my phone. Everything in my phone and everything in my notebook most of it is the same, but all of it ain't the same. So we're going to start, and then we're going to just continue with it tomorrow. But first, like I said, we're going to go ahead on and get this scripture on out of the way. And welcome, you guys. Again, it is Sylvie 414. Glad y'all came to sit a spell with me. Another thing that I am going to do, because right now I don't have the capability of using StreamYard to do 2 platforms. So I'm going to go live on YouTube one day. I'm going to alternate days between YouTube and Facebook, like that, so that I can care to both platforms. Because I can go live on Instagram, but what I do on Facebook goes to Instagram, or I can share to Instagram anyway. So here we go. The proverb that I chose for that day. This is the 30th we were working on. the 30th. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thine hand upon thy mouth. I got two ways to lay thine hand upon thy mouth. And I got this way after I started going into the commentary, but just reading it, I'm just like, silence yourself. But you know, when people do this, they cut a, what should we want y'all to do? Ponder. When somebody doing like this, they in deep thought a lot of time. Lay your hand upon your mouth. We don't get it. People's got alarms going, you guys. People's got alarms going, and this was supposed to be done an hour ago. I'm got a little behind on my daily, well, a portion of it before 6:30. Everything that was scheduled before 6:30 did not happen. So I picked up at 6:30, and I've pretty much been, everything is done. It just kind of fell behind a little bit. Look. It's not a little bit. It's a lot. It's not more than I can bear, but it's not a little bit. It's a lot. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thine hand upon thy mouth. The verse before it was speaking about the greyhound, the he-goat, and the king. It was like, to which nobody can come against. Like, try to fight a goat if you want to. See how good he kick you. Try to outrun that greyhound. Try to outrun about any dog. But a greyhound, you know, when you think greyhound, you're thinking they're supposed to get you there fast. Now, this is just my opinion, because I have been a rider of the greyhound, and it don't really get you there fast. But greyhounds, they fast dogs. And come against the king if you want to. That's basically what the commentary is going to come against the king, because the commentary is not even going to go into the greyhound and the he-goat. Those were just my thought processes, but the commentary is going to speak to you about come against the king if you want to. And the I'm going now so I can see, because I don't remember really what the verse 33 was. Let me see. Oh yeah, don't be forcing no wrath. Don't be out there just trying to provoke and stuff like that. The commentary gonna talk about that too. Let's get on to that. Genesis 2:22. And the rib which the Lord had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. Took that rib out, and you just go out there and get some dust off the ground and make you eat. Especially, so I'm gonna put the man to sleep, because if I don't put the man to sleep, it's gonna hurt him. If I open him up and take a rib, like, it didn't hurt him to be made from dust, because you were dust and then I created you. But if I go and take the best part of you, because I ain't go low. I'm telling commentary a little bit. I ain't go too high. I came right by your side, right somewhere in the middle. The balanced, best part of you. Because I know if I go in and get the best part of you, you're going to be good. Because all the rest of that stuff wasn't making you good. You was out there naming them animals and all that good stuff like that, naming them trees and all that good stuff like that, and none of that wasn't working. It wasn't friending enough for you, was it, Adam? The friend wasn't friending. The help wasn't mating or meeting. And so the God had to get right with the get right. You feel me? Yes. So that would be Genesis 2:22 again. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her, presented her, gave her to the man as a gift, not to be ran over, not for her to run him over either. No, no, that's not what we're doing in this season. We are not emasculating. I don't care how much money you make and how much money he don't. I don't care how much he may have hurt your emotions. Emasculation ain't the way to go because you choose whether you don't have to ever speak again. If we want our place, we have to give them theirs as well. If we in the middle is the middle. If we equal, we equal. Equal don't mean your money. Because they gonna keep making me talk about this money. It's just a platform for women. I need for the men to catch it where they need to catch it. But ladies, let's talk about you with your money. Cause more and more we making the monies, ladies. Let's get it. You know, I was just listening to Alicia Keys when she was singing. I think it's This Girl Is on Fire. Yeah, and I ain't mad. We on fire. But no man should ever feel less than. And if you saying you did it to him because he did it to you, or you do it to them because they did it to us, whoo. That sounds like you are your ego. That sounds like somebody may need a healing. That sounds like no bueno. Because those are not the things that relationships are made of. And when I spoke with best friend about something to that effect today, I used myself in a relationship that is not with a man as the example. She spoke something about our heads being in the sky. There's nothing wrong with that unless it's so high up. We talked about that nose. We talked about that nose on the last video. We talked about that nose on the last video, and I done already told y'all for years and for years and for years that I don't just be going in ahead of time and be saying, okay, I talked about this today, so I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. That's not the way any of this works. So when the God gave me for the 30th, after I had already talked about, distortion and perversion, if your nose is up in the air, I had said that. I think that I think I had already posted that video. But that's the small, see yourself on a smaller scale. Don't be up there trying to see Donald Trump and everything. You feel me? Or somebody, whoever name you want to plug there. Don't be up there trying to see Joe Biden and everything. See yourself. Don't be up there trying to see T.I. or Russell Brand and everything. Don't be trying to see Tasha K and everything. I'm trying to hit all aspects. See yourself. Stephen A. and everything. See yourself. You feel me? I'm just trying to hit all the names I'm hearing. Because it's see yourself time. Today, on the 30th. That's why D-God said it was important. You feel me? All right, let's move on. Because then I had went to Maccabees. Let me tell you a little bit something about Maccabees. Because sometimes I say it because I'm still getting in the habit of doing this Quran and this Apocrypha the appropriate way. Sometimes the chapters don't be chaptering, but verses be versing. So I'm trying to get in the habit of the chapters chaptering. So first I went and what I do is I plug in what I believe I'm going to be talking about based off of the wisdom book that God gave me, which God told me to go into first. That would be the proverb. So the verse that I choose there, okay, God, give me wisdom into this one was talking about foolishly lifting yourself up. Foolishly lifting yourself up in the Quran. Foolishly lifting yourself up in the proverb, in the Apocrypha. And that's how I go from there. So when I put in foolishly lifting yourself up in the Apocrypha, I get this verse. Because, Lord, look, I love the tie-in. I love when God does it. Because I've also told y'all that the verse that sometimes the verse I believe is it. Ain't always it, because I be trying to make sure this is the God. But never have I not chose the verse and just felt like, okay, the God, you still wanted this verse to be relevant. Okay, so this is the verse that I chose. Then I'm going to give you the verse that the God chose. Then I'm going to tell you why the verse that I chose is relevant. 2 Maccabees 7:34. But you, unholy wretch, you most defiled of all mortals, do not be elated in vain and puffed up by uncertain hope. When you raise your hand against the children of heaven, oh, don't think you getting away with that, because they gonna see everything you doing, you feel me? So do what it is you feel like you need to do to me. Whatever that is. Because God got me. That's what that verse said to me. That's what made me choose it. Because the person that they were talking to, the person that this person was talking to, was the person that was puffing themselves up and lifting themselves up foolishly. Because kings and things, you know, we talked about kings and things last time. Kings and things can lift themselves up too, because they're talking to the king. That person was talking to the king, and I'm going to tell you how Proverbs is going to tell you don't do it. But the God just said to me when I was reading the Quran the other day that you better witness for me, even against your family, even against yourself. So if Proverbs told you don't do it, and then the God just went back and said, whoa, hold up. Because Proverbs is basically speaking about on average, because when the kings that the people wanted were first put in place, they were good people. So why would you want to disrespect good people? That's where that came from. Now this one in the Apocrypha, because you know they took them books out. Because this king didn't like the children of heaven. This was a king that was coming against the God. And so let me read you the verse that I chose. I went with 2 Maccabees 7. I don't know if that's 21, 22, or 29. But you can check out all three of those verses because I can't get to it right now. It's on my phone. She encouraged each of them in the language of their ancestors. I'm reading a book about narcissism. It's a book about therapy. Catherine Gildner is the author. Danny, who I'm on now, stripped away from his parents for the rest of his life at the age of 5. He was a native Indian, stripped away from his parents in Canada at the age of 5 and told that being Indian was bad, wrong, they were savaged, and you needed to learn how to be more like the white man. I'm just saying what the book said. He could not even speak in his native language anymore. So she's speaking to them and speaking to her babies, because this is the woman that I talk about this story. This is the mama that watched all 7 of her babies, and this is the last one. Let me go ahead on and tell you that one I just read, 734. That was the last one, and the baby. The last one to go, and the baby. Now let me tell you what happened to Danny in the book. They said don't speak in your native tongue no more. And Danny saw them taking his sister, and all he knew was his native tongue, and he's calling her in his native tongue. And they lashes is what he got. Now, not the kind that make your eyes pop. For speaking how he had learned all his life, and some person did not think that it was good enough. And so they wanted conformity. And this therapist had to go in and consult with native therapists, native healers, to understand and help her to get through this. I said all of that to say that this baby had watched his brothers stand up for their life. And I promise you, this was over food. This was over food. They said they was not eating. Do what you will, because we not eating that. God said no. So we say no. This is over the simple choice of something you did not want to put in your body. And like Danny, Danny family just wanted to be able to raise their family. And they said, no, because y'all not good enough. Y'all not good as us. So we need to take all the children. This is true. They're talking about in the book where he went back and did the research of how many children disappeared during that time, weren't alive during that time. It wasn't good enough. What these people wanted to eat was not good enough. The king said, we want you to eat what we want to eat. And every 6 of those boys said no. And one of them got his hands, I think, and his feet. They were gone. So when baby boy stepped up, after mama spoke in the native tongue, and basically said, what did it say? Where is it? Oh, she said, ooh. Okay, let me start again. She encouraged each of them in the language of their ancestors, filled with a noble, meaning a high moral principle and ideals, or aristocratic principles. So filled with the noble principles, she reinforced her woman reasoning. You remember I said we was emotional? She reinforced, she had to go in and strengthen her reasoning, strengthen her emotions. She reinforced her woman's reasoning with a man's courage. You remember I said that brute force? I don't care. We could teach. We different. That's the difference between brute and brawn. They brute strong. We brawn strong. And with brute strong comes brute courage. She had to, come on now. Let me just talk about Sylvie, because I do. Let me talk about how Sylvie pray on a regular basis after going through all of what I've gone through with the loss of my family since 2007. Let me tell you how I stay saying, God, please keep my mind if I have to outlive them. That's just outliving them. That's not watching that shit. Okay, we 33 minutes in. That's not watch. This chick watched 6 of her babies take it like a G. And then she just had to refresh the baby because he was a baby. So I got to refresh his memory. Because it's your choice, baby. I'm not going to tell you what to do because they made it clear. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you know mama can see you again. Like if you want to stand tall like your brothers, you can. If you want to give in and eat, you can. He was like, do what you going to do. And because he went in like a G like that, he got it the worst, they said. The baby got it the worst. So not only did mama have to watch 6 go, she had to tell the baby, yeah, go ahead on and do that. And then watch the baby get it the worst. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to see. Look. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I had covered all of that. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So then we go on and we get to the verse in the Quran, which is the surah. So I have Surah Ayah Lakman 31 and 19. It's, where is it? Y'all, I apologize. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Be moderate. Be moderate in your pace and lower your voice. For the ugliest of all voices is certainly the braying of donkeys. Have y'all heard donkeys? Because I haven't. I do not like the way they sound. And I know that the God has told me a soft answer turns away wrath. I just wrote in my book. Let me go ahead on and put it out here. Because me and my men and me we have had our issues. This last issue being one that I had. Because I said I started counseling. You know, I say this all the time. Some people don't need you to tell them what they already know about themselves. And if you ask for someone not to tell you about yourself, they should at least deserve the same thing. But when I said I had been having a good day and I've been counseling, first thing she said was, oh, you need it because you brash. And that I allowed to trigger me. And I just backed up. Backed up. Made a decision that I had never made in life. Just backed up. Because guess what else happened? I was writing in my book today, which I haven't written in probably more than 2 weeks. And you want to know what I was just writing in my book? About my brashness, because I know about me. Support does not mean that you pick me apart. Support does not mean that you pick people apart. But if that's what people feel like. But yes, I know that God had tell me to calm your nerves and your voice. A soft answer turns away wrath. I don't want to be out here sounding like the braying donkeys. I don't want to be out here sounding like the braying donkeys because welcome, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Anything that I have to discuss, I can discuss at a pace necessary. That's my thought process. And it's a work in progress. It is a work in progress. But the whole goal is seeing yourself. I don't be walking around because I've done it. Just trying to tell folks how to live their life. And it's not easy because in my thought process, I'm doing this for the best. But being Romans 2:1, God taught me how to leave that junk alone. Excuse me. Now the verse 18, because I had to go back and write it. Because you remember, because I didn't even read the verse. We were just talking about distortion and perversion. I said, if your nose up, that's the smallest part. Verse 18. Now, you remember, I got verse 19. So I read the chapter. So I wasn't looking for verse 18. Verse 18 had said, don't turn your nose up to people or move pridefully upon this earth. Allah does not like the arrogant and the boastful. It all just be falling into place. You can catch it if that's what you're going to do. And if you don't choose to, then hey. But I just be trying to tell you what they going to be talking about. What God say, I just got to say. Period. I went and looked up the meaning of surah. Now, the actual meaning of a surah, because a lot of what I'm getting out of the Quran is in surahs. Surah is a chapter. It's the equivalent of a chapter. It says that there are 114 in the Quran, and they are divided into verses. Surah also is a material in dressmaking. And I went and did this because I'm like, okay, this is a platform for women, Lord, and they keep coming back to surah. Let me see what surah means. And you know, Jill Scott talked about surah and everything like that. So dressmaking, that is something for women. The Arabic, something enclosed or surrounded by a fence or a wall. So a surah is something that is protected. Feminine. Dressmaking is feminine. Something that is protected. It is a sign from Allah. Something that is informed. If you're getting signs from Allah, you are informed. And also derived from an old Aramaic root that means to write. So these are definitions of what the word surah means. Excuse me. And then I took notice also to the fact that it stated that both in the Quran and the Apocrypha, now the Quran mentions Mary, but neither of these mention women by name. Neither, when it talked about that woman that watched her babies, it didn't talk about her name. But guess what? I didn't need it. Do you know how powerful that was? One of the first stories in the Apocrypha that just stuck with me. It just stuck with me. I read that years ago. And it just was like, pow, this woman won't no joke. I can't even imagine. I don't want to. I don't want to even have to fathom thee, God, Lord, please. And thank you. But that's how it is when you thinking about a lot of the, well, I can't speak for the Quran because I have not read it. And the Bible does name women a little more than, well, a lot more. I don't even know that I really remember another woman from the Apocrypha right now. But if their ministries perceive them like that, that's just like not having to be seen. I don't need you to know my name. I just need you to know my story. That's deep. Because a lot of times we want to be seen. Guilty. I wanted to be acknowledged when I made 6 months on my job. And even the more when I made a year. I had never worked on a job for a year and I wanted to be acknowledged. Oh, how big it is of someone when they don't need any acknowledgement. They don't need any, titles. They don't need any status to do what it is they do. Oh, how powerful. People can say that that's them and it don't be them. I'm just saying. Tell me what you want. King Harris. Now, I didn't say this the other day, but because I also read a verse in that same chapter that was talking about honor your parents, King. Let me first and foremost say, I'm not Team King because I think that it's okay that you be out here disrespecting your parents. I'm not Team King for that matter. I'm Team King because nobody wants to look at don't provoke. But I got it for you, King. I got it for you. But I'm also saying that to say, baby, sometimes you got to be the bigger person. And I know they saying that this made all, they saying that the fight was a real fight, but y'all out here, publicity and, to do your janks and all of that stuff like that. But whatever part of that jank is real, sir, young man. Because Damani came out and tried to defend you as best he could. He was saying the same thing over and over again. I was just like, I won't stop saying the same thing because he could have said that once. But sometimes you got to be the bigger person, baby. Sometimes you got to honor your parents when they is provoking. Because he just wanted to stay out there to get that passy. That was a provocation. Y'all bow down to king type levels. I'm just saying. But D God had told me to stop by and let King know, baby, sometimes you might just got to be the bigger person. Yeah. And just like I said, that's not me condoning your disrespect. That's just me understanding that there are two sides. And one of the sides would belong to that's what you look. I'm doing healing things with my children. And if don't nobody want to ever say that they need to heal with their children, then you're just gonna keep compounding generational curses and going out there getting the bag and publicity and that shit. I don't know. It's what it looks like. Listen. So a friend and I were speaking, and I told my friend, I asked my friend, do you know that you're a people pleaser? My friend attested that they did know that they were a people pleaser, and I had to let my friend know about a story. my friend just had a birthday to pass, and he was a little upset because he didn't get the acknowledgement that he felt like he needed. And where I could relate, it was different. But my baby also had a birthday that passed, and I am generally the one to call my queen and say, make sure you call my babies for the birthday. But because my babies and I are going through a thing, I just backed up and set a boundary that I believe needed to be set. My babies have set their boundaries, but I don't know boundaries when it comes to my daughters, because I just want to be around them. So if I have to hurt sometime to be around them, I'll do that. And so this time I just didn't want to. So with all that being said, I knew I want to not acknowledge my daughter's birthday. So I texted her. I told her happy birthday, but I did not contact Queen and let Queen know happy birthday. So 2 days go by, and I see a Facebook post where Queen has commented on my cousin's post, and I found it was the happy birthday post to my daughter. And I promptly called Queen and I said, you didn't tell Daisha happy birthday? She said, I just told her happy birthday. I said, 2 days late. I said, you didn't see that post said 2 days ago? Well, I didn't know because you normally tell me. I said, that this is where because those, I don't care what we're going through. Mama bear is who I am. And I'm mama bear anytime I feel like somebody might need to be mama bear on me for there. But that was me. It was me all the way around, because I remind her, and because we were going through a thing, I didn't call and do what I did and just assumed that she would, but it was my pleasing to my daughters. That's where I had in common with my friend. My friend thought people that he felt were supposed to communicate with him would have, and I was like, everybody don't think like us. I told Queen, I wound up calling Queen and apologizing because I snapped on her. I'm like, what if I wasn't here? What if I was on a live? I didn't say on a live because I wasn't on social media. She's like, well, she'll just see it when she see it. I said, that's very uncaring. And I said goodnight, and I hung up the phone. I had to call her the next day and apologize. This wasn't her fault, it was mine. It's my fault. So yes, that's all a part of people pleasing, because that was me pleasing my babies. Like, don't be not telling them happy birthday. But I told her what I was gonna do is put it in her phone when I get to her. Y'all, I got some sniffles or something. And let's see. All right, so real quick, let's go over, the breakdown to these verses, and then I'm gonna get into this Mariko. I'm gonna talk about a little bit of Mariko. Like I said, I'm gonna break this down because this Mariko it's a lot going on, and this has been going on since 2009. There's no statute of limitations on Red Rum. So based off of Proverbs 30 and 32, we're speaking about the folly. Said, if thou hast had the folly or the foolishness, y'all know I said I like folly, the folly to be arrogant, proud, and overbearing in your conduct, and this is speaking about to a king. If you have thought it, meaning if you have meditated on it, or if you have purposed it in your mind, like it just stays on your mind, if you have thought evil in that way, the thought of lifting oneself up. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Said if you have acted or even meditated on arrogance, restrain yourself. Keep silent. So even if you haven't done it, even if you have not put it into play, it said, restrain yourself. Keep silent. Do away with that thought. Stifle yourself, it's going to say later. And I had to go look online. I say, who stifled? Who stifled? And so I had to come back and say, stifle yourself in my Archie Bunker voice. Because he used to tell Edith to stifle yourself, Edith. I knew it was one of those men. I thought it was either my thought process was Ralph Crandon, but it was Archie Bunker. Says there is one who shows himself a fool after he's raised to a high position. Oh, the people keep saying that you think the bag keep you from being foolish. You think because you remember I had told you all about that house, and they had two of y'all in there. Y'all, one went dad away, and one went dad away. You see how my hand going up? Because you went up and up and up in your status and your stature and your bag. Because, oh my God, you used to turn your nose up at that when they went dad away. Because you see where my arm is, get my arm going down. Turn your nose up at that. Because you ain't got the bag. You impressed all that y'all had went through in the household. All of that, you press it down, baby. You're streaming the range from my sweet, sweet baby. Okay. I don't know the rest of that music. You pressed all that stuff down. And you went and got the baddest job. The baddest career, excuse me. You ain't got the baddest career. You ain't got the baddest house. You ain't got the baddest cars. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like, share, and subscribe. You ain't got the baddest everything. But that right there has said, there is one who shows himself a fool after he's raised to a high position. I told y'all who names to keep out your thought process. Bring it a little closer. Bring it closer to home. Bring it in the house. Bring it in the bedroom. Bring it on your side. Three times for the one in the bike. There is one who shows himself a fool after he's raised to a high position. And people think because they be raised to a high position, that makes them smart and wise. Because you worked hard to get there. Ooh, you're just a foolish person with a whole lot of money and status. Ooh, it's the fooliosity for me. It is the fooliosity for me. 9 times out of 10, you can't tell that fool nothing. He got too much money for you to tell. You can't do nothing with a fool with money. You can't do nothing with a fool with money. Sound like narcissistic behavior or narcissism to me. Y'all go get that book. It's a good book now. Good morning, monster. Catherine Gildner. Let's get it. Said if he'd have known better, he'd have kept silent. You'd have kept all them foolish ways to yourself. You'd have nipped them in the bud at the door before you even let them out your thought process. You'd have kept silent. You'd have put your hand over your mouth. It says that one shouldn't be taking anything too seriously or too lightly. It used mirth. I didn't know what mirth meant. I thought that mirth was something other than laughter. It is what I defined it as today. It said too much laughter, no bueno. But if you're ready to quarrel at the drop of a dime, no bueno. Everything that I've been reading about in these scriptures and holy books and stuff be telling you about you need to be 1, 4, 1, 4. Because all of that over there is totally, and all of that over there is totally. And once you bring that joker to center, you got something good going on. Irritation, provocation of anger, occasions quarrels and contentions. Do not provoke your children to anger is all that I thought there. Why? Because I already talked to King. King, you know I be talking about my queen up here too now. I already talked to King about potentially having to be the bigger person, but we like to skip right over that. We in our parental parenting in this, we like to skip right over don't provoke your children to anger or rationalize it. It talks about rationalism in here somewhere as well. It talks about rationalism somewhere in here as well. Um, oh Lord, fix it. Fix it. Let's see. Talked about that a little bit. Oh yeah, when it broke down the things that you could possibly be saying to the king that'll get you done in. It was talking about speaking evilly to the king, being rebellious to the king, or self-commendation. That's the one that got me. How you gonna go up to the king and tell the king you the G? Go up to the king and tell the king you the G. Self-commendation. Let's see how that works out for you with the king. IJS. When they talked about putting, look, because I said that earlier, it said put your hand to your mouth like any studious man would over any situation. Remember I said this is a pondering? That's why I said a studious man, a studious man could be doing this, but I think that this is more rare to a studious man than this because he's going to think first. He's going to think first. He's not going to shoot first, ask questions last, or hit first, ask questions last, or cut first, and I mean with your tongue. Ask questions last. No, he's going to think first so as to have a response and not a reaction. Yeah, legal had to teach me about reactions and responses. They're different. They're different. Let's see. Say who, cause y'all knows, and this is where I'm going. Gosh, help myself out. Do not pretend to deny or excuse the action. You know that thought that it said deal with that. Don't pretend to deny that it's there. If you act like you ain't thinking something that you ain't got no business thinking or doing, but you don't do something to attend to that thought, you're liable to do it. Where you gonna be then? Do not pretend to deny or excuse the action, nor pass the buck, nor come for the necks of the people because they checking you in love. Now, God said that you come to a point of maturity where you get checked, whether you feel like it's in love or not. You mature enough, you know you're doing something wrong. It kind of don't matter how it come out of somebody's mouth. If you know they're telling you the truth, you're supposed to walk in that. But for the most part, if you ain't got it, God will send you somebody to check you in love. Now, if you want to come for the neck of the person that's checking you in love, then you're going to have to deal with God. Welcome, 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 you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. I am Safi. Let's see. Don't rationalize no behavior. Because if you are your ego, guess what? That means that your ego is really running the show, and your ego will definitely want to rationalize whatever it feels the need to do. Good, bad, and different. Don't do that. So, Genesis 2:22 describes that woman as a wondrous workmanship. Said that that she was led or presented to Adam. I say as a gift. Like when I think of that, I think of a gift. A gift. A gift is always something good. Now, if the receiver of the gift, you know you brought gifts for your babies that they ain't never want to play with. And to that, I would say effective communication might have stopped that and may in the future. The same way. If effective communication might stop a gift, which is us, from going to a man that's not Adam. Everybody want to be talking about the Boaz, but the woman was made. Boaz came later. But there wouldn't have been a Ruth if there had not yet first been an Eve that was created. Created out of, it said not even just regular dust. Where is that, Lord? It called it not even regular dust. It called it divine. Nah, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Because it's coming. Said Adam, upon opening his eyes, immediately noticed divine intention. He called her divine. He thought of her as divine intention. When you think about the marriage, because this was the first thoughts of marriage, the first institution of marriage, and you know marriage is connected to Jesus, and all that I be thinking about is woo. If Jesus worked with us the way that I see some of these marriages work, up to and including mine, up to and including some who say that theirs are working great, because it's working for them. Maybe working for one party, may not be working for both. Marriage is an institution that's supposed to work for both parties. There were two parties. There was Jesus and then there was the church. And one thing for sure and two things for certain. I think Jesus stood in the place, I'm certain Jesus stood in the place of the man. And I said y'all might want to check how y'all doing by Jesus' teachings. And ladies, ditto. Ditto. Because you want to check how one should respect someone who is doing it properly. If it's not being done properly, then you have to ask the question, was there effective communication? Was your gift where it was supposed to be or not? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Says she was neither taken, and I said this earlier, she was neither taken from the superior or the inferior, but squeezed from the middle, smack dab from the middle, squeezed from the middle, smack dab from the middle. I don't know the rights to that music either. That was a Ritz commercial or something. I don't know. It's crackers and peanut butter. Said so she would be equal to. God created her from a place that was near his heart, under his arm, so that he could show affection. Said that it wasn't just dust, it was refined and quickened dust. So that's all a bone is. Bone is more dust. Flesh and bone, dust. You know, sometimes people, y'all be thinking y'all dirty and y'all just be scratching up dead skin. Now, if you don't ever bathe, you probably scratching up dirt. But if you bathe regularly and you still can scratch yourself, you're gonna scratch that. Your skin dies daily. Dies daily. And sometimes it might look like dirt to you. But dust. And the bones up underneath it, but more dust. It's just refined. Said it's refined and quickened dust. I love that. The woman was made to help build up as the foundation of the house or the family. She was made to help build the family, help build the church. She was made for all of that. Now, the God gave me my instruction, because sometimes man, and that would be 444, meaning a man, woman, or child will try to stand in the way of what God has for you to do. And if the God said do it, you best find a way to do it around man. Period. See, here I is. Because the God said so. Now, I will call this building church and family. That's what I would call that. Now, really quickly, really quickly, I'm going to talk about the other things, and then I'm going to talk about Mariko, and I'm going to jump off of here. This is what I'm going to say about the young lady up there on TikTok who sharing her man with y'all. This is what I learned growing up. And she's saying she's sharing her man with y'all to know that all of this can work, and everybody is coming down on these single women because that's what people love to do. And look, just like in the morals are up to the individual. If everybody don't stop thinking that everybody got, the judge just said that. Judge Million just said, this is not a court where I judge based off morals, or I would have given you everything you wanted. It is law in here. And it ain't even law out there. Let me tell you about this. Once you become a social media influence, I have been saying this entire time, social media is the new TV. YouTube is the entertainment world. Social media in itself is the new TV. In front of these people, you putting your family out here and y'all acting. I haven't even gone to look at one of the videos because I hear enough content creators saying some of the stuff she's saying is raunchy, but even in the raunchy, they're still defending the fact that these single women should know better. Maybe the married women should keep their men off of social media, because I've been married first and foremost. I've always been raised to say that part is private. They say you're not even supposed to discuss that with your friends. So if you're not supposed to discuss that with your friends, why would you have your man up here doing all of these kinds of things to put it out there for the public who don't know you or owe you a thing, baby, to see? See, that's why I got put out of the Housewives of Maryland, only because I wanted to use married people, because I've been married once, to see it from a different vantage point. Guess what? When that young lady came and talked to me about my husband, I went to my husband. Guess what? When I stole the queen car, when I stole the queen car because she had lost her keys, because I found out that my husband, he won't even my husband then, him was my boyfriend. He won't even my baby daddy at that point. Him was just still my boyfriend. But I found out that he was down there and there was another girl in there, and I didn't like that one bit. And so after we found the keys, and I really didn't know where the keys was, but I looked for them jokers extra hard after Queen had to get a ride. And I found them keys, and my cousin helped me push that car out. My cousin helped me push that car out that driveway so I can take it down to Mount Olive so I could go visit Eddie Mack. So I can let him know that the girls don't need to be in here. But what I did not do was get in that chick face. I don't get in the chick's face because I'm only married to the man. But that's just me. And so, you know, it's real. I chose to leave. Chose. Some women choose to stay. That is on them. To each their very own. Nobody gets to, I mean, you get to do whatever it is you want to. But when you get into not people, just understand that everybody gets to do what they want to. No matter how much they try to make us seem like kindergartens out here on these social medias, like people don't got freedom of speech, even though they try to tell you that you do, but people don't have to hold up your moral standards. You might want to think about keeping your husband offline. Or keep his face out of there. Keep him out of it. Is he responding back in the inbox? If he ain't responding back, then you got to cheat. You can't control them women, baby. You cannot control those women. And I will go ahead, because I feel the need to always precursor with the people. Just like I said with King, I'm not condoning his bit. I'm not condoning the women coming in trying to get your man. But it's your man, baby. It's your man. Real quick. Corey Holcomb said whether or not he feels like whether or not Diddy is guilty, women still gonna come out the woodworks. I said that on my platform. I stand by it and believe it. I believe where smoke is, there's fire. I believe that there's something there. I don't know how much because I don't know. I wasn't in no rooms. But I do wholly believe that everybody that comes out against him is not going to be telling the truth. I believe that wholeheartedly. I will also say that in my opinion, look, I just give my opinion. In my opinion, I believe Aaron Hall got fired by his smoke too, but not Jamie Foxx and Luke. I don't believe there's no smoke by Jamie Foxx and Luke now. Do I believe might there be some smoke around Bishop Jakes because he want to say happy birthday, Diddy, at the freak party? Now let me say this. Shout out to the Alley, Newport News, Virginia. She keep herself separate, y'all. But the Bibles is on that counter. So once you leave out that alley, if you need a Bible, you can get one. The Bible verses is on them bathroom windows so that you can read some scripture while you're in there parching. And she holds a Bible verse in there on Wednesdays. I've not seen her just walk around the club. I'm not going to say that she can't. But what I am going to say is it a regular thing that you do, Bishop Jakes? And are you keeping your spirit covered? That's all I'm going to say about that. But they say they allegedly you may have some charges coming down the pipeline too. Like, all that I'm saying is I know that I used to watch all of these preachers whose names that I'm hearing now. And I'm just going to say, I don't know whether my time is up or God pulled me away. But I watched all of them and then I didn't. Period. And I won't even go into naming the preachers' name now. Does anybody know anything about preachers? They knowing. They knowing. That's all. Okay, and real quick. Then we're going to talk about Mariko. This is the last thing. Stock Market Steve. Y'all go check out Corey Holcomb 5150, Stock Market Steve, Dynamic Reasons channel. I think I might have mentioned Willie D's name in here, Willie D. Stock Market Steve spoke about the Florida mama. She was trying to help her baby. That was her thought process. And sometimes for our babies, we do not think straight. I just told y'all about the story where I snapped at Queen for not knowing that it was my baby's birthday, who she's not been knowing forever. I always got to tell her it's their birthday. Call them and tell them happy birthday. So I don't know if this was something that was ongoing, but the babies was out there trying to jump her baby. She, instead of getting out to go and help her baby, decided that she was going to run over the other babies because they were trying to jump her baby. It did not work out that way. That's why you should put your hand here before you go into thinking evil thoughts. Before you force wrath. That's what verse 33 said. Proverbs 30 and 33. Before you force wrath. Because she hit her baby. She didn't hit those babies. She hit her baby. And yes, he lived. But she hit her baby. And then what I'm assuming had to happen next was her baby was a G because you got him in that car and then you chased the other babies home in the car. Steve called her a juggernaut. I forgot what juggernaut he gave. But he called her a juggernaut, y'all. So let me give y'all a little bit of Mariko. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of Mariko. I'm gonna probably give y'all what's on this first page. We probably gonna Mariko page by page. Cause when I tell you I got a little bit. So first I'm gonna let you. We gonna let you know who Mariko was. So Mariko Johnson, he was ex-law enforcement. He was living in Pennsylvania at that particular time. This case took place in Mount Union, Pennsylvania. He is connected because he has an ex-girlfriend. I think her name is Cynthia. The two people that were unalived, the one was Cynthia's friend. Her name was Christine. So Christine was Cynthia's friend. So Mariko is married with children. He has 5 children. His wife is Tanisha. He has 1 grandchild. He has been incarcerated, and Tanisha is saying he is wrongful. He is innocent. And I told you, just based off of the way that I believe that God set it up, I'm Team Mariko. I don't know how else to look at this. So I'm hoping that you guys will like, share, and subscribe this information as I'm giving it. Or excuse me, like and share this information as I'm giving it. He wound up getting a lawyer, Jonathan Sims. Now this case is a cold case from 2009. 2009. January the 2nd into the wee hours of January the 3rd. There was no time of death signified, no rigor mortis set in or anything like that. They're using the basis for time of death from the time that they went missing on January the 2nd to the wee hours of the morning of January the 3rd when the coroner came in to do the test. That sounds weird in and of itself. No time of death. No rigor mortis. Nothing. No scientific data. We just gonna wing it. They winging it. So there were 2 women, and they were unalived up close and personal style. Pow, pow. Red rum, right there. Close. Red rum, right there. Close. Says the one's name was Christine McWhorter, and the other one was her aunt. Her name was Beatrice Daniels. There was a minor child. Christine had 2 children. One of them was old enough to see. Said that someone knocked on the door and came in, which means that there was no struggle. The baby said it was a white male with facial hair and a black hoodie. That's what the baby has said. This is a baby who you'll later find out has a very fair-skinned father, as Mariko. Mariko was fair-skinned. So if we want to say he didn't know the difference, he got a fair-skinned father that he knew was not white. So it says that once the person came in, he began to hear shots fired, and so he stayed in the room. Once he felt like it was safe, he came out, and there's an infant in there as well. He came out, he saw the bodies lying lifeless, and he went over to a neighbor's house to let the neighbor know what was going on. The neighbor came and saw what was going on and called the cops. So this is, oh yeah, y'all, Real Dana with the T. Real Dana, the Real Dana. Go check her out. The Real Dana. She is on YouTube. She sat down with Tanisha and the lawyer on one of her podcasts. And the next time she sat down with Tanisha, the lawyer, and Judge Joe Brown, who thinks that this could be a landmark case. That's what Judge Joe Brown said. And offered for the lawyer to contact him off the record. Yes, he did, because I had heard him. And after he got off with Judge Joe Brown, they gag ordered that lawyer. The gag order didn't come until after he talked with Judge Joe Brown. So y'all, it's something. It's something. So I hope y'all can help me help Tanisha. Help this thing get on out here and go check out Real Dana with the T, and y'all can get, like, everything I'm telling y'all is coming straight from the lawyer, coming straight from Judge Joe. And then I read an article in Huntington Daily Post, huntingtondaily.com. But y'all can go check out the Real Dana. You can search his name, Mariko, M-O-R-I-C-O Johnson. If you search his name on YouTube, it's going to come up. Let's see. Says that when they arrived, they attempted to secure the scene, but they couldn't. Said people were still going in and out. Now look, once upon a time, I wanted to be a lawyer first and foremost, but I do know that you can't once the scene can't be secured, it's kind of tampered with. It's kind of tampered with if people are going in and out. I just want us to think about the words and listen and see things from the one. See things from the one, because one thing that the lawyer kept saying, and one thing that could possibly be, is we can be here 20 years from now saying we shoulda, woulda, coulda based on the things that I'm about to go and be telling y'all. Trying to get them out is what he's saying, instead of trying to do the due diligence in front of it. It says in the early parts of the investigation, it was revealed that Christine was trafficking from Philly. She large amounts. It said Christine had them Cocoa Pebbles and them Cracker Jacks for you. Large amounts. Cocoa Pebble and them Cracker Jacks. I don't know how to make that thing. Said that there were several users and distributors that were identified as suspects, because they did identify some suspects that were knowledgeable of the fact that she was, not only was she trafficking large amounts, they want no male protection in that house, and the day that everything happened, she had just came back with a big stash. Yeah. And when I thought about that in the male protection, it made me think about a story that I watched on Instagram, because she may have been without male protection by choice. But ladies, I just talked about that brute and that brawn. If we keep thinking it's all right to do these juggernaut things that Steve be talking about, how Mike and Steve be talking about, I'm watching Instagram and I'm watching these two young ladies walking. One is walking and slumped over like she is about to pass out. She about to pass out. And so the man come up and he's trying to help. And so he get to walking with the one that's about to pass out. He's holding her up like the other one was holding her up. He's trying to be a gentleman. And then the other one come from behind and start poking him with something. And he wound up on the ground and robbed. You won't be protected if you keep saying you're going to be the little chain that cried wolf. The little boy that cried wolf. I said the little train that cried wolf. The little boy that cried wolf. Mess around now. Shh. Let's see. It says that it was two individuals who confessed to third parties about the crime. Had done the crime. It was one who confessed to a cousin and said that he was about to unalive himself. I guess he was having a hard time with taking it, and so his cousin like, well, wait, what's going on? Why you trying to do what it is you're trying to do? And he goes to telling them about the crime. And it was also said that that one was seen after the unalivings, the red drums, around the neighborhood with much dope. Because the dope got missing from the house after the incident. The dope got missing from the house. Y'all, I'm going to end it. And the dope got missing from the house. Hello, beautiful. Nobody wants to live in totally. Find your way to balance. Sylvie loves you, beautiful. And I am out.